Have you ever felt like success is a language everyone else speaks, but you just can't seem to learn it? Maybe you've put everything into a dream, only to watch it fall apart again and again. You start to wonder if the universe itself is telling you to stop. If that sounds familiar, then hold on. This is the story of a man who failed 127 times before he succeeded just once. And that single success changed everything. In a small apartment in a busy city lived a 32-year-old inventor named Leo Vance. Leo had no family money, no powerful friends, and no fancy degree. What he did have was a vision. For 5 years, he had worked on a portable, affordable water purification device, something to help communities without clean water. But Leo had one overwhelming problem: constant failure. Every prototype broke. Every investor said no. His walls were covered in rejection letters. 23 companies had turned him down. 14 investors called his idea impractical. 5 manufacturers said it was impossible. His prototype had failed tests 49 times. When people asked about his work, Leo would smile and say, "Getting closer." But inside he was drowning in doubt. His older brother, a successful lawyer, would visit and say, "Leo, it's time to get a real job. You're 32. You have no savings." His mother worriedly suggested he use his engineering degree properly. Even his girlfriend had left him 6 months earlier, saying she couldn't watch him chase an impossible dream any longer. Each night, surrounded by broken parts and rejection, Leo felt the weight of failure. He whispered to himself, "Maybe they're right." But then he'd remember the news story that started it all, a village where children died from dirty water, and he would try again. Failure number 98, then 99, then 100. One cold Tuesday morning in November, Leo checked his bank account. He had $247 left. His savings were gone. He had 1 month's rent. That morning, he received his 127th rejection from the last investor on his list. The email was polite but final. Leo closed his laptop. He looked at the room that held 5 years of his life. He walked to his bench, picked up prototype number 127, and felt only exhaustion. "I'm done," he whispered. He placed the device in a box, sealed it, and wrote on the lid, "Final version." November 2019, that afternoon, he updated his resume and applied for 3 safe, ordinary engineering jobs. Something inside him went quiet. That evening, there was a knock. It was Mr. Rossi, the elderly Italian man who owned the repair shop downstairs. Leo had helped him occasionally. Rossi held a misplaced package, but he noticed the look on Leo's face. "Come downstairs," he said gently. "Have some coffee with me." Leo followed. Mr. Rossi's shop smelled of tools and old wood. He poured 2 coffees and sat down. "You look like a man who has given up," he said calmly. Leo laughed bitterly. "Is it that obvious?" "I have seen that look before," Mr. Rossi replied. He pointed to a small plant in the corner, a bamboo shoot in a simple pot. "Leo, do you know about Chinese bamboo? You plant it. You water it every day. For the first year, nothing happens. No growth. The second year, nothing. The third, the fourth the same. 5 years pass with nothing to see. But in the 5th year, something miraculous happens. In just 6 weeks, it grows 90 feet tall." Rossi looked at Leo. "So, did it grow 90 feet in 6 weeks, or did it grow 90 feet in 5 years? Leo started to answer, then stopped. "It grew in 5 years, Mr. Rossi continued. All that time, when nothing was visible, it was building a root system so strong that nothing could stop it when it finally broke ground. You think you have been failing for 5 years. I don't see failure. I see roots growing. Every no taught you resilience. Every broken part showed you what doesn't work. You were building a foundation." He leaned forward. Success is not about avoiding failure. It is about refusing to let failure be final. You can quit now and always wonder, or you can try one more time. Not because you know it will work, but because you will always regret it if you don't. Leo sat in silence, feeling something rekindle in his chest. It was resolve. "One more time," he whispered. Leo walked back to his apartment, opened the sealed box, and said aloud, "One more time." But now, he worked from experience, not desperation. He knew every flaw, every dead end. The 5 years of failure were his blueprint. At 3 a.m., 3 weeks after talking to Mr. Rossi, Leo made a tiny modification to the filtration membrane, inspired by a mistake from 2 years prior. He ran the test, it worked. He ran it 15 more times. It worked every single time. Leo sat on the floor, holding the device in his trembling hands, and cried. 5 years, 127 failures, and finally it worked. He sent a video to one last investor, someone who had passed a year earlier. The reply came in 2 days. "We need to talk." That meeting led to funding. That funding led to manufacturing. 18 months later, Leo's device was being used in 47 countries, providing clean water to over 2 million people. When reporters called him an overnight success, Leo would smile and say, "It took me 5 years and 127 failures to become an overnight success." He visited Mr. Rossi with a gift, a framed photo of a village using his devices with a note that read, "Thank you for teaching me about bamboo. I finally grew my roots. Mr. Rossi hung it on his wall and said, I always knew you would. So what is this story really about? It's about you. It's about every person who has tried and failed, who has heard no too many times. First, failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of it. Every no is practice. Second, like the bamboo, your growth is often invisible. You are building roots. When your breakthrough comes, it will be unstoppable. Third, the only real failure is quitting before your breakthrough. What if Leo had stopped at attempt 126? If you are exhausted and thinking of quitting, ask yourself one question. What if my breakthrough is just one more attempt away? Choose to try one more time. Apply what you've learned. Take one more step. The difference is persistence. You are closer than you think. Don't quit before the miracle happens. If this story gave you the strength to keep going, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe to Stories of Motivation for more journeys of resilience.